What's up? What's up? YouTube, how y'all doing today? Look, I am very excited today because I am about to teach you financial literacy you did not learn in school. So this is important. So what you see here is you see, well, first off, let me tell you why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because we have to be trained on financial literacy. There's two skills that I tell people they need to really learn. That's mindset, well, three skills: mindset, skill set, and financial literacy. If you can learn those three things, then you can become wealthy by all measures, right? But if you don't know those three things, then you'll become poor. So it's literally a matter of exploding to staying in a bad situation. So what I want to do is I want to teach you about some things using this model. It's called the personal economic model. I love this model because it's really going to explain everything about financial literacy in just one page. And I can go extremely deep into this, but I'm going to keep it pretty basic for the point of this video. And we're going to really get into some things where you're going to understand money more than you ever have before by the time it's, let's say, 8 to 10 minutes is up. So stick around and I got you. So what this represents, you all, this big two right here represents all of the income that you'll ever have in a lifetime capital potential. That means just the money that I get, how much money plus the growth will go through my hands in my lifetime, right? So let me start off by giving you an easy example. Okay, so let's just say you're 42. You want to retire at age 65. Your current income is $102,000, and we're going to increase that with inflation. And the amount of savings that you have currently is only $88,000, growing at a rate of 6%. So at your retirement age of 65, that means the income potential that will run through your fingertips is $3,310,194. And your wealth potential will be $6,989,710. Wealth potential means the amount of money that grows through your hand plus the 6% growth plus your investment amounts. That's your wealth potential. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So as we mentioned, the amount of money that will go through your hands is $6,989,710. You can see it kind of growing every year. Up until that age of 65, you'll see 6,989,710. Now, this means that you have not paid any money at all in taxes, debt, or your lifestyle. It all went to savings. And we know that's not realistic. So let's go ahead and do what most people do. So most people, they're going to have to pay taxes, which is called at 25%. They're going to have to pay debt services, such as their mortgages, their loans, finance and vehicles, etc., credit cards. Let's say that's 20% of your income flow, which leaves us with 50% in lifestyle. And let's say 5% of that went to savings. Now, this is most people. Most people only have about 5% or less going into savings. So if we make those changes, this is what our box would look like. So it still equals that same amount, but here's the difference. Now only 668,817 went to savings. 1,663,393 went to taxes. So how do you feel knowing that the savings account for the government was more than you saved for yourself? You pay more in taxes than you actually save for yourself. The yellow represents the debt, 1,330,000, same thing. You pay more in interest on your debt than you actually save for yourself. And then last but not least is your lifestyle, which was 3,326,000. So in this situation, you have saved 668,817, and you've spent 6,320,893. Now, most people in this situation that are not really doing financial literacy the right way, they'll come to a financial advisor like me and say, I need to grow my money. Help me to pick the best stocks. I need a higher rate of return. But understand, while a higher rate of return helps, let's say we made that higher return 8% on their investments. Well, your savings grew to 946,079. So you were in a better situation, but let me show you a better way. Instead of just trying to get a higher rate of return, let's take that return back to 6%. But this time, let me help you in a different way. So instead of you paying 25% in taxes, what if we were able to reduce that to 20%? What if we were able to reduce your debt services instead of 20%? What if we were able to reduce it to 10%? What if we kept the same lifestyle, but now your savings is 20%? And we kept you at the lower rate of return of 6%. What difference would that make? Now look, now our savings is 1,666,852. Well, why is that important? We did not decrease your lifestyle. All we did was help you to become more efficient with your money. We helped you to pay less in debt services, pay less in taxes. Now you have an additional $1 million plus, and your taxes are $1,330,000, which means that now you have more savings than you've actually paid in taxes. You still have paid $665,000 in debt services, and you've spent $3,326,000 in your lifestyle. Now, what if we were able to do both? So what if we were able to still give you these different income allocations and still increase your rate of return by 8% to 8%? Well, now you have $2,234,000 in savings and $1,717,000 in taxes. So you see what I did there? And you have a higher lifestyle now of $4,293,901. So the point that I'm attempting to make, this money will flow through your economic system. It's not what investments do we choose necessarily, it's how we treat the tax consequences and how we treat what we save. So now let's go ahead and go back to our economic tank now that you understand our wealth potential. So what happens, you all, is the amount of income is going to go through our economic system. Now, some of it is going to flow immediately directly to our lifetime capital potential, and some of it we're going to maybe have come out of our check, and it's going to go to our qualified plans, such as a 401k, IRA. That's going to go directly to your investment account. The rest of it is going to go through the pipes, and then you're going to hit this bronze area, which is your tax filter. Now, remember, we could potentially save you some money on the taxes that you pay, but you still have to pay the taxes. Now, once we take you to the tax filter, you have a choice to make. You could not save anything. If you save nothing, all of that money is going to flow through your after-tax cash flow, and it's going to flow through your current lifestyle where it's going to be spent and lost forever. But realistically, you're going to want to save some of that money. So if you did save some of that money, once it gets past the taxes, you could decide, do you spend it all? Or do you take some of that money, let's say 20%, and drive it up to your diverter, which means now some of it's going to go to investments and some of it's going to go to savings, right? Now, that's your choice, because maybe it's 50% that goes to your savings and 50% that goes to your lifestyle. Maybe it's 80%. Maybe it's 90% that goes to your lifestyle and only 10%. But this is where you have a choice, because there's a constant balancing act between, do I save more or do I spend more? If you spend everything, that you're having a life of your life in your present, but you have no future. If you save everything, then you have a great future, but you're not enjoying your lifestyle. So there has to be a good balance in place to make sure that you're enjoying your lifestyle, but you're also saving for your future. Now, when you're saving for the future, let's say if you put the money into your investments, understand that when you do invest, you have the amount that you've invested, but if it's tax deferred, you also have the IRS's portion because they're going to charge you taxes. So all of that money isn't your money. Plus, investments are also risky sometimes, which means that you could potentially lose the money. There's no cap. You can lose the money, right? So as an advisor, what I do is help you to invest more moderately and also find ways to reduce that future tax consequences so more of the money is your money. You can also put money into savings accounts where it's the same thing, right? If you save in, like, let's say the bank, you also pay taxes on that money, which we can help you to reduce. So it's obviously it's a constant balancing act, and there are different things that you can do. So when you do save, you could save in, let's say, a Roth, which means it's going to cancel out future taxations that you'll have to pay. You could also save in places like a cash value life insurance policy, which will cancel out the taxes that you have to pay along the way on your savings. And if you did that, then not only do you have the safe money where you can't lose, but you also have a permanent insurance death benefit that's attached to it as well. So we constantly want to have a balance, right? Inside of our portfolio. I'll show you one last thing when you're dealing with investments. There are many different savings and investment vehicles available to store your future lifestyle dollars, and each has a unique set of costs and benefits. But let's consider your preference on account risk, taxation, and accessibility. So there are 3 different types of account risk, right? We have higher risk, moderate risk, and no risk. No to low risk. So higher risk, it's going to involve higher ups and downs, higher volatility, higher return potential, but also higher chance for loss. Moderate is going to be limited protection, also moderate risk, but also limited liquidity. You got to give some of that up, and also moderate return potential. But then we also have common characteristics for no risk or low risk. That's going to be guaranteed returns, no loss provisions, high liquidity, and also lower return potential. So we have to have a good balancing act between these 3 pots. Most people, when they think about diversification, they know that we should diversify their accounts, but they're not necessarily thinking about their taxes. So there's 3 different tax options that we also need to think about when it comes to diversification. You have your taxable account. Now, the taxable account is going to be after-tax contributions, like a CD or your money in the bank. You get a 1099 every year on the dividends. You have to pay ordinary taxes every single year. You have to pay capital gains when you sell it at a profit. You also have to have capital gain withdrawals and interest. It affects your Social Security taxation down the line. Also, tax deferred. Tax deferred is like your 401k. You didn't pay taxes yet, but you have to pay taxes on the back end. Now, this is going to allow both before tax and after tax contributions. Ordinary tax is going to be due on entire withdrawal, which means when I take that money out, I have to pay taxes. It's going to be added to my income when I withdraw it. Also, that entire withdrawal amount affects your Social Security taxation, and it will be undesirable if you believe that future taxes will be higher. The last one is tax advantage. Now, the way tax advantage works is after tax contributions, tax-free withdrawal options. It may require some qualification to get you approved, and it may be invisible to Social Security taxation. Now, my question for you is, which one of these buckets, taxable, tax deferred, or tax advantage, would you prefer your money to be in? Hopefully tax advantage. Now, let's just say in that example, when we have $88,000 all in a tax deferred account. This is our desired allocation. We want you to be a third, a third, a third in high risk, moderate risk, and low risk, for example. We also want you to have a split between taxable, tax deferred, and tax advantage. But this is where this person is. They're 100% tax deferred, high risk. In comparison, this is where you are, many of you are, and this is where we want you to be. Can you see why planning is so important when we're looking at your financial calculations, right? So Let me explain that again, just to make sure you understand. And this is just going to be the basic introduction, but we can go deeper into this. We can go into borrow, risk tank, safe tank. We can go into your mortgage. What's the best way to pay your mortgage? But for now, we're just going to give you the basics. So again, here's what happens. We have money from our income. Some of that flows into our 401k. The rest goes into our lifetime capital potential when we have some choices. That money is going to flow through our tank and it's going to hit our tax filter, which means we have to pay taxes on that income. Now, this is where we have a choice. Do we spend it all or do we save some? Hopefully you chose to save some. It's going to go into your investment tanks. Now, it takes some actual manual work to do that. That's not automatic. Automatically, all of our money will just simply flow to our after-tax cash flow, and we would spend it on our current lifestyle, such as our mortgage, our car, college education, food and entertainment, clothes, entertainment and music, or our technical devices, such as our phones. Now, once that money is spent, it's gone and lost forever. So what I want to do, when you stick with my channel and subscribe to my channel, I'm going to teach you how to make better financial decisions for yourself so that that money will flow up to your investments without sacrificing your lifestyle. I don't want you to reduce your lifestyle, but I want you to be more efficient with your money. I want you to fund your 401k in a different way. I want you to pay off your mortgages in a different way. I want you to use different vehicles that are going to be tax-free and tax advantage. I don't want the IRS taking the majority of your money. I want you to make better decisions on how you pay for college education, how you pay for debt. If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you want to know about it? The first time someone explained money to you, imagine it like, tic-tac-toe. First time you played tic-tac-toe, who won? Was it you or was it the person that showed it to you? It was the person that showed it to you. So if you understand the rules, you absolutely can win this game of money. You absolutely can. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing, following, liking my channel, sharing my content. And I cannot wait to teach you more along the way. But I want you to keep referencing back to this video because this is the basic introduction on what is called the personal economic model. And we're going to be able to teach you so much by looking at this model along the way. Thank you all so much, and you have a blessed day. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and share this with